Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about Protech and Strider and the Protech Strider collaboration that has been going on for the last 10 years and the fact that it's not going to be going on anymore. Before I get started and talk about these two knives and give you just a little bit of feedback, I do want to say thank you to all the channel members. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to say thank you to anyone who comes in and just watches my knife and EDC content. If you take the time to subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate that too. So Protech Strider. The first Strider knife or Strider style knife that I ever experienced was an F&Grow 225 that I purchased off of Amazon that is a pretty well-known Strider clone. It's the same size as the SMF, which is a larger Strider. But what that knife did when I bought it was it made me appreciate a design of a knife that I had never ever paid any attention to. I had seen the Striders, I'd seen the Protech Striders. They always looked like a hard use tactical knife that at the time just really didn't suit me as a knife that I would be necessarily interested in, right? So fast forward, I picked up the F&Grow, since I've given that away during a live stream, and picked up my first Protech PT 207. In the Strider land, it's the Strider PT. It's their smaller manual Strider size knife. So 10 years ago, they started a partnership collaboration where they worked with Protech to make automatic models of a couple of their popular designs, the SNG and the PT. And the result was they were able to offer Striders or Strider style knives for all better practical purpose. Here's an actual Strider next to the SNG. So they're basically line for line identical knives. They are, and this is a base Strider, but they are very, very similar, both USA made, no longer dealing with the cloned version or the one that looks very similar, whatever that relationship may be. But what the Protech Strider collaboration brought to me was, starting with this knife first, it gave me an entry level into a more legitimate Strider than was that F&Grow. So I picked up this little PT 207 in MagnaCut, and I'm not a huge automatic fan. I've got probably a dozen automatics in my collection, and I appreciate their use. I appreciate their ease. I had purchased this knife. I like a manual action more daily, I guess, but I appreciated the size, I appreciated the carry, and I carry this knife quite a bit. But it really made me like the Strider ergonomics and the Strider design even more than I originally had with the imitation that I bought from F&Grow. So I worked with a close brother of mine in the community, and he had this particular knife, which is the Strider Protech SNG. The full size. They do make a bigger size Strider, but not a bigger size Protech. But guys, this is for me an every bit full size knife. An absolute giant knife. Bigger. I don't think I have my PM2 out here, but it's about the same size as a Spyderco PM2 in length. And if you've seen a Strider SNG, you'll know that this is about a little bit over 8 inches, maybe an 8-inch knife, we'll say, but very comfortable in my hand. The Strider design makes you almost use that finger choil, which is just begging to be used. You've got great jimping. It's a very tactical feeling knife, yet it's also a great EDC knife. It's a great cutter. It just looks rugged. It works in any grip, any type of cutting that you're trying to do. It's got a thick enough blade to, not that you want to pry with your knife, but if you need to cut through some harder core stuff, this knife's going to stand up for it. The SNG is in 154 cm, and just a beautiful knife. But it allowed somebody like me to get into a Protech design for right around 220, 230, I think, dollars. I think I paid or traded a little bit more for this. I want to say this was maybe 280. I forget. But this was the Magna Cut, the small one. I like a smaller knife. Ironically, in the Protech, I do like the full-size S&G. I've never experienced the Protech version of the smaller PT, but this is a great size little knife that still invites me to use that choil. Has a great sharpening choil, very sharp edge. Let me get a piece of paper out real quick. So they had the license for 10 years, Protech and Strider. They were working together, making knives. And then on, I guess it's been about a week ago, Protech made a post on Instagram that they were showing the Strider, and they were showing the Protech Strider, the S&G, and they just, after 10 years, they've really enjoyed their partnership. And when it came time to renew the, I don't know what you'd call it, I guess you'd call it the collaboration or the licensing agreement, that the way that the post made it sound, I did not read it this way, but the post made it sound that Protech was very, just, kind of sad that it wasn't continued on, which made me think that they would have liked to have continued on. For whatever reason, the Protech Strider collaboration that's been going on for 10 years, after 2024, in the same post, it said that the last of the Protech S&Gs and PTs should ship to dealers, that they would be making no more S&Gs and PTs in 2025 because that had expired. And this is my original Strider that I picked up late after experiencing both of these guys. And this is one that Scotch and Things helped me get, an actual Strider in PT1 steel, just on washers, manual knife, just very, very nice. I like it. I like the manual. And like I said, I was never a huge auto guy, even though I have several in my collection. But with the Strider and with some of my other Protechs, they're just knives that are so functional that I can easily appreciate them as automatic knives. And I hate to see this knife go. I hate to see it go from Protech. I hate that not as many people have a chance to experience it at a lower price point, because I'm convinced how it led in my evolution that if you start with one of these, it's not going to take the place of you purchasing one of these. They're offering different things, automatic versus a manual. So, John, why do you say that? That goes without saying. Because my gut tells me, and I'm not a future teller, but my gut tells me that Strider is going to make their own automatic, or attempt to make their own automatic S&Gs. And PTs. They want to do it themselves, which they have every right to, right? They're an OEM. I just don't think that they would have said after 10 years, no, we don't want to do this collaboration anymore, because they're not popular, they're not profitable. People who are buying your $300 knife aren't buying our $600 to $100 and up knife. It's not that. All I can think of is Strider, who I appreciate, as a knife company, wants to make automatic Striders. I hope I'm wrong, but I bet we see automatic Protech Striders automatic Striders coming out of their factory, wherever they do their thing. And Protech will just be on to another project, which I've always supported Protech, always supported Strider since I got a Strider. Have no problem with them. But as far as company loyalty, Protech has always been absolutely amazing to me, not just with customer service, but by allowing me to buy knives like what I'm carrying today. One of my first full-sized automatics, the Protech Newport. They design a lot of really cool knives, and they'll come out with other cool collaborations and cool original designs like the Oligarch, which I really want to add to the collection someday. So I'm not too sad about it, but I think that the customer loses a little bit, and I think Strider loses a little bit. I don't know I think it was just a good collaboration. I hate to see it go, but I just wanted to share with you guys that I appreciate the knives for what they are. And those of you who don't like Striders or the Protech Strider look, I didn't either. It was something that I looked past every single time I would see a review or I would see the knife. I had no interest in it until I handled one. And it started with that F&Grow 225, which was much bigger than I would ever need, but I appreciated the form and the function of the knife, which is just stunning. So guys, I appreciate you watching. If you're still here, consider hitting that subscribe button and that bell notification icon. It really does help me out. Hit the like button. But most importantly, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your hearts and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.